Guys, I'm Danny Russo here to recap the Met Gala with my dear friend Camille Cower. She's an actress and an influencer and also one of my coworkers. Camille, way more about fashion than I do. So let's dive right in. What did you think of last night?
I always love it when it's over the top, but there were a few that I really loved. I felt like these are things that normal people could wear. It's not too outrageous.
Accessible.
I think a lot of these, accessible. That's the perfect word for it. I felt like there was a lot more accessible fashion. And
so tell everybody what the theme was, because I haven't been paying much attention to it and I knew it was coming up. This is the first Met Gala that is focused on menswear. The Met Gala is basically the opening of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's costume department. This is the first year it's focused on menswear, but more about the theme this year tonight.
I only know a little bit more just because I've been reading about it in preparation for this, but it's super fine tailoring black style. And being black, I guess some of it I know naturally. And watching a lot of black movies and have seen a lot of these costumers work in previous things, but you have to, because we both watched Wicked.
Yeah.
So it was based on a book that this lady, I can't find her name right now, because I honestly didn't know this book existed until this theme. But I do think that's one of the good things about this theme is that even though it wasn't so over the top, it does make people have to look into it more. They're doing their research. They're learning more about the history of tailoring.
It's always been very intricate. Whenever they would have a men's challenge, it would be more difficult than a women's challenge. Dandyism is a form of tailoring, maybe back in the 20s, 30s inspired. A lot of these looks that you would know more than me about them. What's dandyism? Dandyism is?
It's a way of styling and dress that was really popular, not only from the 20s, the 50s, and so on. When I think of dandyism, I think of entertainers back in those days where they would wear zoot suits and oversized hats. It was a way of taking space in areas that normally wouldn't allow you because you would look the part. It was a way to sneak into those places that were white only. It would let you in because you were dressed better. You were tailored. You had the right suits.
I remember when I was 17 years old, I had a pinstripe black suit with a thicker pinstripe. I remember going to a family funeral and they go, "What are you wearing, a zoot suit?" And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but sure. The first look that I'm looking at is Rihanna. And I guess she's pregnant and came out last night. She looks absolutely stunning. I see the pinstripes in that and a lot of
and the Art Deco.
Oh, totally. The hat, the scarf. She's just gorgeous.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning. I just happened to watch Handmaid's Tale, and they even talk about nobody is more beautiful than Rihanna.
Really?
About Rihanna. It was just a line in a TV show, but I was like,
no, I
haven't first on the list.
Yeah.
It makes sense since her.
I need to get back into watching Handmaid's Tale. She was first on the list.
It makes sense when the father of her children is also the chair of the Met Gala event, A$AP Rocky.
Pharrell.
Who was on the cover as well.
And
Pharrell is also one. He's the happy guy.
Pharrell was wearing Virgil Abloh, which would have been Louis Vuitton, but he was the one that I saw last night saying he was asked to host the event or co-chair the event 2 years ago, and he had to keep it a secret for 2 years. And everybody was like, "How did you do it?" And he looked amazing. And then Coleman Domingo. What are your thoughts on Coleman Domingo?
I love being a North Carolina girl by default. It was a throwback to Andre Leon Talley, who's from Durham, North Carolina. And of course, the Duke blue of it all, because I love Duke. But I also thought it looked like church robe. I'm considering what's going on with the Pope.
Who is he?
Oh, Coleman Domingo. It's understandable that you would know who he is because he's in Euphoria.
No, I love Zendaya though.
He was on this movie, The Sing, where he played a prisoner who was doing this theatrical production inside of a prison. And it was a really beautiful movie. I think it was Sing. I'm pretty sure it was Sing. That was nominated for an Oscar, but he's an actor. He also had a Netflix show, but you're busy. You're not watching TV as much as I do. I was going through recovery, so I was watching a lot of television this year. He was nominated for that as well, I believe. I think it looks great, but
he does. I wonder if this robe came off after he got in. I don't know what's under it, but he did make a statement when I saw it coming. He was one of the
Sure.
first in. And then Lewis Hamilton came up.
You know what he does, don't you?
What does he?
You're such a bad Italian.
Italian?
We talked about this before.
What does he do?
F1 driver.
Got it. Oh,
I was trying to give you
okay.
hints, but
I wouldn't. But his suit looks very, what do I want to say? Avida. Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, Brazilian. It's funny.
royalty.
Yeah, I'm seeing like even Pharrell was wearing Louis Vuitton and Tiffany and Co. And his pants are quite interesting. They were like bell-bottom flares. It's very interesting. ASAP Rocky is wearing some Christian Louboutin shoes, and he looks like he was designed by AWGE, which sounds like a streetwear brand. Is he carrying a gun?
So it's a cane with a gun grip.
I was seeing a lot of canes, which that goes back. They're called walking sticks from back in that era, 20s, 30s, 40s. But that's interesting to see that whoever's standing behind him in the bejeweled jacket looks interesting. I can't tell who it is. The next one that we saw on the red carpet, you said you love, and I actually thought it was Lady Gaga for a second. Emma Chamberlain.
No idea what she does. They were.
Lady Gaga's very understated this year.
I know. Also interviewing people on the carpet because she was being interviewed by whoever I was watching. She was like, "Oh, now I got to go run and do interviews as well." So wherever she is,
I mean,
she works in journalism. I can look her-
whatever they did with her, they used one bolt of fabric, and the draping, the way they styled this on her looks great.
She's an influencer. We don't know who she is.
Okay.
She's a social media personality, influencer, podcaster, businesswoman. And
Now, this next one, I think, did a lot of the sting, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be completely off. But Lala is in archival Off-White by Virgil Abloh, and we love everything he does.
I always think of you when I see Off-White.
Do you remember that story while I was in Italy?
Of course. While you were in Italy, you were explaining to your husband that you were wearing Off-White. He was like, "It's brown. What do you mean?" You're like,
No, I
It
was actually
like,
wearing,
who's on first?
I was
It
wearing,
was so funny.
I think pants that I bought were brown. And I go, are these brown or black? I couldn't tell. They're brown. And then I came out in the black pants and I was like, do you like these? They're Off-White. And he goes, are you losing your mind? Those are black. What is wrong with you? I go, no, they're white. And he goes, hey, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, never mind. But that was my Off-White story. That's why it was started by Virgil, wasn't it? And it's owned by Louis Vuitton and all of that, I believe. I have the book. He's amazing.
That's beyond my price range. I just know what's pretty, what's not pretty, and what kind of style things are.
I've been looking throughout the day today of different looks, and I have to say that this next one we're going to talk about is by far my favorite. It's Teyana Taylor. She's wearing Ruth Carter. This combination of red and black, the shoulder pads, the feather in the hat. It's one of the best styled looks I've seen in a while.
Ruth E. Carter is iconic. At an exhibit here at our Museum of Art of all of her past costuming, because she has done so many great films. She's done Wakanda, Black Panther, Coming to America. She's done a lot of things in that dandyism, zoot suit style. She did Malcolm X. Okay. So you remember the suits that they were crossing the street in, the big suits, the hats and so on. She also did Roots, and she's worked on a lot of things. Yellowstone, like she's worked on everything. I had to do my girl justice and look her up because I was able to meet her when she came to town for that.
If you look at this image of her, the
So much
attention to detail, there's nail heads, red leather at the toe, and she has a bejeweled thing going up. There's the embroidery in her cape, robe, everything is layered perfectly. Her vest, the accessorization is just out of this world. And her makeup too.
What if you slide to the left, you can see her behind you. She's on the carpet.
That's why I pulled this picture. I pulled my background because when I saw her, I'm like, this is my favorite look. It was funny because you sent me the links last night when I got into bed at 6 p.m. and I was watching it start, and she was hosting, talking a lot with Lala, and she was very well put together.
She's always does everything about her is chef kiss. One thing that I thought was interesting that she was saying that the cane was also functional because those heels, as beautiful as they are, were not the easiest to walk the red carpet or to go up the stairs. I guess the blue navy wallpaper carpet. But that brings up a great point because we were talking about the different things on her that were like furnishings. A lot of times with fashion, it does show in the way interior design happens. Can you speak a little bit about that? Maybe some things from this look that would be incorporated in interior design?
This is a very bold look. Incorporating this would be very unique because red is a bold color to use. Pairing it with black, basically you're making a statement, these elements. This cape would be beautiful drapes. There's just so much here that can be done in different ways. I see velvet, which we've been seeing a lot of. And what's interesting is this look isn't just red and black. There is a lot of burgundy. The 2016 color of the year was Marcella. I see that having burgundy and Marcella and wine Merlot undertones. I could see that. And then we've gone with this straight up blood red in her vest and all the embellishing. This can be so many things. In furniture, I could see throw pillows, a chair, sofa. Just had High Point Market last week, and now we have the Met Gala this weekend. Fashion and furniture tend to merge, but we're not going to see anything like what came out of Spring Fashion Week and the Met Gala we'll start seeing in October and into next year. But this is a look that a very bold. I don't know, when you said Yellowstone, I've never seen Yellowstone, but I feel like it's a little bit country western. I haven't watched it.
I love Yellowstone. I was like, yeah, never watched it. What are you talking about? Yeah, it does take place on a ranch in Montana, if I'm correct. But yeah, it's
the theme of this was men's tailoring, dandyism from the 1920s. She slayed this theme better than anybody. There's a few times I've seen these Met Gala carpets where they change the carpet in the background every year, but it's always the same stairs. Sometimes I wonder if their stylists ever called to check what is going to be happening on the carpet, because she really stands out on the blue, white carpet. Like these colors that they did on this wallpaper that's behind us and the flooring, she really stood out on this themed entry. But we all know that they make some celebrities come do the carpet and they're piecing out because it's not really a comfortable event to go to. I can't imagine. The Met is one of the oldest buildings in New York City. I'm sure the air conditioning's not up to par. And she's wearing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. Who's running coat check? Yes. The logistics of this outfit and the entire event are baffling to me. But looking at her and then looking at the next look that we're about to talk about.
Saturday Night Live.
Ego?
Yeah. Okay, so you know they have that new segment with Colin and Michael Che. I can't think of Colin's last name for some reason. I'm thinking Mr. Scarlett.
I know you're talking about.
She was the one that went out there and was like, "These men ate," and everybody answered the cuss word and got in trouble. It went viral. She was the one doing the little segment where she could be at the White House convention dinner.
I totally missed that day.
Convention.
Correspondence Center.
Thank you. I thought she did a really good job too. She was the one doing interviews with the previous one for Vogue. They both killed it. But I wonder if they had previous knowledge of the carpet. At least it looks like Tiana's stylist definitely did. Maybe because she was in on the costumes they used for the Met Gala. She killed it with the red shoes. The rest of her outfit is hard to see now in the pictures. The lady after that, you can definitely see.
Zendaya is one of my favorites. And she came out of I remember back when the Fashion Police was hosted by Joan Rivers, Kelly Osbourne was on it. Somebody called hairdo nappy, and it caused a huge controversy to the point where the Fashion Police got canceled. And her career has just exploded. And then she's in exquisitely tailored Louis Vuitton, and she killed it with this ivory on ivory monochromatic look.
Like she smells like patchouli and weed.
Yes.
I remember that part as well.
And she was only 16 at the time.
It was disgusting.
And I just remember it being, she was a child, and I was happy with the way they were portraying that. Then we come to Hailey Bieber, and I'm bored. It looks like she just took a men's jacket, put it on, and slam the cape on the back.
Okay.
And then we get into the wonderful Jenner. Nothing to say.
I'm leaving them alone. Oh, I like that guy.
This guy didn't. Raul Dominguez. When we
Yes.
edit this, I hope that we can
Like
get these
Domingo.
pictures in here. I don't know where he's going. I don't know if he knows where he's going. Is this part of that era? I would wonder who the stylist was here because there's no designer listed or stylist. And is he going to what disco?
Here's the thing. It is a suit. And it's also about expressionism, right?
Sure.
Your own individual expression. So I think he was showing that he is the moment. He had the pussy bow, which I think is a statement in itself. I just, with the last name, somebody, you never know. You never know. It could just be a coincidence, but I wonder, because he does look great. And I think it looks good. Because I think
it's different.
It's the bell-bottom pants was just kind of reiterating the fact that skinny jeans are never coming back, which I'm happy about. I love that look too.
We're talking about skinny jeans or baggy jeans?
The skin tight jeans, but here he has the bell.
Everybody's been wearing these wide leg ones. I'm afraid to talk about the next one because if we ever become big celebrities.
Beautiful gowns,
My mic went out. Our dear Anna Wintour's in Louis Vuitton.
I think it's also something that Virgil had designed before he passed away.
She brought that up. And I actually watched her arrive on the red carpet and I was shocked that she didn't have sunglasses on. I was listening to her being interviewed with Pharrell. She's the head of the Met costume department. There's a documentary called The First Monday in May all about the Met Gala. There's also a documentary called The September Issue.
Broadway as well. Over in London, they're doing a Broadway show.
Oh yeah, they are. I'm going to say Tyla.
Oh, you kept going.
I skipped a couple.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know who she is, but
she's in Jacquemus and Pandora Jewelry.
Oh,
Tyla.
She's a singer.
Okay.
Maybe I don't even know if I'm pronouncing her name right.
I saw a lot of white and black. And I think that was an aesthetic from that era. We only really had black and white photos because we didn't have color television. I wonder what these looks, I would love to see their inspiration boards when they were pulling these together. With her pinstriping, it just looks gorgeous. I love a billowing sleeve. I'm not good at speaking about fashion and how we're even doing this. I don't know. But what'd you say?
You're proving that's not true by the words that you're using.
I know some things, but not Dapper Dan. Yeah.
So he's the one with the dandy of it all.
I could see that. Tyla and her. I wish they had these together as couples. If they had a couple shoot, like Tyla and Dapper Dan look like they coordinated, kind of.
Yeah, you might be right. I will say that with Dapper Dan, he's one of the creators of this look too. In the 90s, he was the one you would see hip hop, like different rappers and so on, wearing monogrammed everything that you knew Louis Vuitton or Gucci didn't actually make. Maybe he was the guy that you would buy it from. He was the one that created all those looks. He is the Dapper Dan.
A great designer for this event, I would think, because he's known for men's tailoring.
Supermodel.
I can't say her name, and I don't want to try to. But Tom Brown, this looks stunning, the black and white. She looks, the opera gloves, the men's collar, this dress. I feel like this dress is not reading well to us because of everybody in the background wearing black. I feel like this read better in person than it does on the red carpet, but I think this would be one of my top 10.
I agree. I would also say that it's better on the red carpet interviews because they had a backdrop that made it easier for you to see the outfits without all the behind it. In other words, we're skipping past the Kardashians and Jenner people because they get enough press. They don't need us talking about them.
No, I'm going to say one thing about them. I think they all had the same stylist because they're all wearing black and gray. And if you mash them together, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. And if they were all sitting on a sofa together, they would all just fade into one person. So moving on. Charlie XCX, I don't really know who she is. I've heard some of her songs. It's really good.
She did the Apple song, The Brat, where everybody was doing that dance.
Don't know that, but this look is amazing. I'm down for this.
I'm trying to do the dance.
I was supposed to go to one of her concerts, but I was too tired. One of my friends was on tour with her, and she was in Columbus. She's gorgeous. I love this look. Very Drag Race. I know, that's why I was looking, because coming up is, I can never say her name, Chappelle Rowan.
I think so.
So, Chappelle Rowan.
And she's also in the Wicked designers or costumers.
She's
All as well.
Drag Race winner, Sasha Colby. She's part of the Colbys. And Sasha Colby is her drag mother. I had no idea who she was until this year. And I love her. I've had her song stuck in my head. Hottogo, you can take me home to go. My office makes fun of me because they're like, is that the only singer you know of our generation? I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Do you know that there's some story behind the clown makeup look for her, which I have a fear of clowns. So I like her, but not on my Instagram or TikTok because I never know when the clown image might come out. So I like her audibly, not always visually, but this one doesn't actually bother me as much.
I think her and Raul were going to the same event together, same after party.
At Club, what is it? 54. Thank you. Is that your generation?
I don't know.
It's a joke because I'm older.
Sabrina Carpenter
No,
looks
it's not
AI
even
generated.
Wait, I'm scrolling down.
I skipped Usher.
Fair.
I love this color.
Showgirl.
Yes.
But it's beautiful color.
And
Beautiful
they got
color.
the shoes on
that's
point.
What UPS uniforms should be. And then it'd be cute.
It's an ox blood. I just love that look.
She came up with a new color. They're saying there's a new color that you can't see with the naked eye or something. Have you heard of that? This is another one of my favorites after her. Jenna Ortega.
I love it. That is interesting. What this reminds me of is somebody actually took American Express cards back in the 80s or 90s and turned them into a dress. And that's what this look reminds me of.
So
God, those are metal. I hope she's okay because this dress looks deadly because tape measures are made out of metal. The way she's wearing this, she had to get cut somehow. Imagine how heavy this is too. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Wore a sculpted gown crafted in a nod to the instruments of the pattern makers.
She won for the technicality of the event because into behind the scenes of the theme, like the tailors that were behind this, the seamstresses that actually sewed these garments, that put all the blood, sweat, and tears with tape measures, chalk. That was really good. I love that.
Proving that you're a liar.
Which part?
About not being able to talk about fashion.
Friends are.
You know about this?
I have had it back when I was younger and I would wear a suit. I have had to tailor it. The best tailors are Italian.
I think it's every immigrant class when they came over here because that was the work of the working man or woman. So I feel like depending on where you lived and where the immigrants were.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, Italy is definitely known for the tailoring.
We've only gotten through 36 looks.
We're almost done to Demi Moore.
You could go on that one because I skipped ahead to another one that I saw, but you go ahead. You pick yours.
Because she's wearing Tom Brown. She's doing the very big pinstripes with the black and white stripe. And it was definitely tailored for her. This I love because it looks like a necktie. So the big hoop around her head is what goes underneath the collar. And then around her chest is where it would tie. It's a necktie dress. So, of course, an homage to men's fashion.
Tom Brown had to be the go-to designer for this whole event.
Who's your favorite?
I just scrolled down. Cardi B looked amazing in Burberry. I love that she did green. And then I happened to come upon Lauryn Hill in Stella McCartney. And now this is a look where her stylist talked to the florist who talked to the event producer. Everything looks perfect. She matches the flowers in the background, yellow on blue, complementary colors. She looks like she designed this event. Was she a co-chair?
It was all men.
Lauryn Hill, she's from band, right? Lauryn Hill.
Fugees.
Killing Me Softly. She looks absolutely stunning.
Stella McCartney rarely misses because even she did Mary J. Blige was looking. I don't remember the full outfit, but I think it was like an off-white buttery colored cream as well. But she had a gold hat made for her, so she was killing it. McCartney did a great job with all of the people she dressed.
I only got to see you. You paid more attention to this than I've got to. I've been dealing with tile all day long. This is the funnest part of my day. I was half dead until we got on this Zoom. And I was like, oh my God, I get to podcast with Camille.
No, you're right.
I've seen this tuxedo jacket.
Relatable.
Seen the pants and the shoes. It's just very Tom Ford. And I'm surprised Tom didn't take it to another level. But then again, him and Anna are probably best friends, and he probably had to attend out of. I could tell you he probably did not want to go to this event.
Bloom looks like I'd rather be home.
When I'm going,
even like Issa Rae, I didn't know she walked the red carpet till later on, and I love her, but she looks like I just came to see what everybody else is wearing. And I'm not mad about it. If I ever was invited, I would choose function over style so I could actually get to meet everyone and not be worried about my outfit. If my boobs are falling out, or if I need to hold in my gut, or how I walk up the stairs, I would rather be very comfortable and be able to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
The people who are going to outdo me no matter what. There's some that's just always going to be the best. But we forgot the whole reason I wore this shirt was Diana Ross.
Oh,
I think a lot of people her as
go right there.
Material.
No.
Because that movie, Mahogany, which was about fashion and tailoring, I do think the white suit with the hat was based on her character in Mahogany. A lot of people were wearing that, and it almost was like, did their stylists not call each other? But hey, when the blueprint is laid out for you, copy the looks. There was a meme that said, this is why we had Facebook groups for prom, so we wouldn't end up in the same dress. That's touche. Since I knew we were going to do this, I've been researching it since yesterday and watching all the things. Every time I had a break, I was scrolling through Instagram, looking at other people's red carpets. I love that movie, Mahogany. I own it as a DVD, which for the young generation, that's your permanent streaming. Oh, it's so good.
I have a very good friend that's a celebrity stylist. I was trying to see if he did any of these looks, and oddly enough, I'm not seeing any. But I might not be digging deep enough. We'll talk about it off camera.
Okay, sure. Now I'm seeing Amy Sherald was there. She's the one that did Michelle Obama's portrait.
Give me a number.
74. Nothing exciting, but that's how I would have dressed. Something casual that fits the look, but also I can meet all of the celebrities.
Where was Michelle Obama?
Kamala was there.
She was?
Yeah. I saw online, but I didn't see in person.
I love Jaden
I was like,
Smith's
the one time
look.
she's not in a pantsuit, and I miss it.
I love Jaden Smith's look. I just ordered Lauren Halsey and wearing Fear of God. I just bought a pair of pants that look like that.
What number?
I'm on 70.
I'm on 85.
It's amazing. On 75, Jerry Lorenzo and Desiree Manuel are also wearing Fear of God. And this is a deconstructed uniform similar to what I'm wearing right now. It's like big and baggies coming back and super comfortable. I need to look into Fear of God because apparently it's sticking out to me. Look, 76 is by Fear of God.
That's who I was just talking about, 74, Amy Sherald, because she's the one that did the portrait of Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
I did not know she was on the blue carpet. But what was the other Fear of God one?
A lot of them. The one above her, and then 75 was the one I was talking about. 75, 74.
Ooh,
a lot of them.
I love that one.
Trying to get there.
Yeah, she was on Blackish and Grownish.
What do you think of Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra?
I thought the theme was based in Spain.
I think they didn't change their outfits from the Kentucky Derby on Sunday.
She's the Kentucky Derby, and he's like bullfighter of Madrid.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Nick used to. They're in Balmain.
At least they're using a black designer, I guess, but maybe their designer was mad at them. Maybe they didn't pay their.
Omar Sy. I love this green. He pulled this look off really well. This green and yellow on number 80.
Agreed.
Ferragamo. I don't know who that is, but I love that cape.
Keith Stanfield. Did you see Get Out? He was in Get Out.
That's why you have an entertainment podcast and I talk about sofas and tile.
But they're blending together.
There's a lot of walking stills. 84. I was watching this on the red carpet last night and I was watching the B-roll and they were coming out of the Mark Hotel and they kept saying which number was coming out so that Vogue knew what to put where. And we're using those numbers now, but all the production assistants were using those numbers. I have no idea who this is, and I thought it was somebody else, but it's absolutely stunning. 85. Alt Mason.
He's a supermodel.
He's super. Yeah, he's hot. I love the shoulders. I love the structure of, I'm going to take my horse to the old town road. I'm going to ride till I can't no more.
Little Nas X.
That's who I thought I was looking at. And I looked at the name like, wait, that's not right.
It is interesting that he has a Zorro look because he has the eye patch. I love the cutout heart of it all.
Yeah.
Over his chest. But it is giving a little Cowboy Carter-ish because of the silver and the diamonds and like cowboy boots.
Are these pants? They're not boots. They're not pants.
Together.
Oh, I
Maybe they are one piece. I have seen.
I see a break.
You do.
I love the shoulder pads or the shoulders.
That singer back in the day. He would always wear those big shoulder pad outfits. Oh,
okay, this is, and I've asked you about this person because I don't know what she was in, but she was in something that I watched. And me and you about her. We're going to go straight to Janelle Monáe. And she's wearing Tom Brown. And this is exquisite. And you were telling me that this was
put together by Paul Tazwell from
the costumer for Wicked.
He was the one that also wore the skirt dress thing earlier.
Joe met Janelle Monáe.
Hidden Figures, amongst other things, but that's the first thing I think of.
One of my neighbors is actually related to one of the women in Hidden Figures.
So my aunt?
Yes, we talked about that. What the was it? Screen Actors Guild, Cyberpunk. So whatever, I just read something, I just saw in her biography, Cyberpunk, that look that she's wearing is very cyberpunk. Too, she wrote the Cyberpunk Story Collection, The Memory Librarian and Other Stories of Dirty Computer, based on the album.
Yes.
So she was the reporter.
That's her
in
main
Glass Onion.
Oh, you probably have heard her songs. I can't think of any right now because we talked about so many different people.
I know.
Very.
This is the most I've actually seen. I don't even know half of these people, to tell you the truth.
You've been watching House Pro.
What is going on?
Your Real Housewives.
I don't do Real Housewives.
No, I was saying that's your Real Housewife. House.
I don't even know what to say about this look. And I don't know that you're going to know what to say about this. Andre 3000 in Burberry. And I don't know what Burberry would even say about this. I see a piano. I see a trash bag.
I love it.
Dressed as a janitor?
No, because the book is about being a slave to fashion. So he's almost saying he's a slave to his music because there's Andre 3000, but he was also part of the group. Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
I know. What is this look from? Because he's wearing whatever this is, one of the things me and you would wear. It's like a flight suit, but I see zippers and it's almost a onesie.
So that's an F1. He's in a movie about F1 racing.
Oh.
So he takes that off and he has a real suit underneath. That's amazing too.
We should probably,
main character in Snowfall.
Using this event to promote other things.
Because I'm like, you're way ahead of me. I was still looking up Janelle Monáe's songs to tell you.
Men's tailoring going into the custodian side of things.
What number is he? 3000?
92.
Oh, you're talking about
piano.
Yeah, I don't know what the garbage bag was about. Maybe that's where his change of clothes is. Or maybe he's trying to say they act like we're only the janitors and the musicians at these events, and now we get to walk the event. I don't know.
So in one of the final seasons, they had brought in a jazz singer in the 20s or 30s for entertainment, and he was like higher end. The entertainer have dinner with the royal family because that was unheard of, and they were still talking about segregation. Is this outfit a statement toward that era? Because entertainers were treated differently back then.
Yeah.
Like,
it would make sense.
but there was so much talent back then. I don't know.
That would totally make sense because they would be the ones. Count Basie,
the girl with
Duke
the bananas,
Ellington, Josephine Baker.
Yes, Josephine Baker.
A lot of people said they were style like Gigi Hadid. Her dress was based off of Josephine Baker, a similar dress. I could totally see that he was saying, "Hey, we're good for entertainment and to take out the trash, but not to walk the carpet." So for those that only were able to look at us now,
yeah,
I could.
Yeah.
It's not that deep that he was like, "I'm not carrying that expensive bag with my other pair of shoes." But no, I think
how much does obviously this is
a grand piano.
How are you strapping a piano and walking up? This is logistical. I can't figure it out logistically.
Yeah.
How did he get out of the? How did he get there
before they even go through moving it again?
How would he get this look into a car onto the red carpet? The street, the Met Gala, the Metropolitan Museum of Art on. I can't. It's right on Central Park, and that's an active. They can't close the street for this.
How did he saw a lot of them were coming from the hotel. They were just walking. Look
at where the Metropolitan Museum of Art is. It's in Central Park. It's the only building in Central Park, and then you have to cross the street. And it's.
I used to live in Upper East Side in high school.
I feel like
6th and 3rd.
Quinita Brunson, 94. Why do I feel like we just saw this fabric?
Stripe.
I feel like we just saw the same dress with the same fabric earlier on.
The way around, where it was black with white.
Something. Natasha Lyonne.
And speaking of Bridgerton.
She's in. Okay.
No, she was just on Saturday Night Live this past weekend.
Oh, okay.
And for the record, I wish there was a real Forever 31.
Well, I haven't watched
yet. Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I've been on the road. We skipped over Natasha Lyonne. She's one of my favorite actresses. She was in Orange is the New Black. She's been acting since she was about 6 years old. She was hosting Saturday Night Live recently. She's hilarious.
One of the red carpet interviews I watched, they asked her what outfit or what kind of clothing makes her feel powerful. And she was like, some black panties.
She went also on that look.
She was a real rocker moment. I was like, get it. Yeah, I love her. I grew up watching her.
I don't know who it is.
Nope.
I don't know what he's wearing.
Oh, I went to 98. Yep. Like he's dressed like his grandmother, maybe. Or Grey Gardens, the hat with the scarf.
Edie. I'm going to take this scarf and turn it into a skirt. That's the most practical look for the day.
The fact that you pulled that quote out of nowhere.
The way my mind works.
I love that show.
And now we'll stop at 100 here because I feel like I'm looking at the K-pop escapades meets Disney on Ice.
I was going to say Disney on Ice meets Vegas Showgirl.
Giovanna Battaglia.
Sure.
I can't. Okay.
Woo,
stop.
Some great garden.
I went straight to Madonna, and that was the final look. And you were having this conversation, and I just got to see this look up close on a computer and not an iPhone. Madonna is obviously known for everything she's done. She's wearing Tom Ford, so Tom paid more attention to Madonna than to himself. Not in a bad way. Madonna's smoking a cigar, always dressed in this men's aesthetic. She pushed this limit back in the 80s. So for her, I'm surprised they had her all the way placed at 100, but she killed it. What was your favorite look of the night?
Obviously,
Diana Ross.
Agree with Teyana Taylor. I'm trying to remember who else. Oh, yeah, 100. Oh, okay. I see Madonna's look again. And that's the thing. Like sometimes I feel like with designers, they have to play it a little bit safe to make sure that their clients are in full.
Totally.
And considering what Madonna was wearing, he was like, oh, I got to be understated than that.
Like a 123.
108? Oh my God.
I think I just saw my husband at 119. No, my only one.
Oh. Oh my God. I understand. That's the lifestyle I should be living, quite frankly.
Were you telling me at 109?
Wait, are you at 119?
I'm jumping all over. Precious.
I remember seeing her from the side view on the carpet. I was like, who? in the world. She is not hiding them. And I love that for her.
Yeah.
That's the other
Now,
thing. You were talking earlier about baggy. All those people that spend all that money on the Ozempic that didn't need it. Now the baggy look is in style. Please, you kept your fat clothes.
I'm
Your
happy
head-
about
your-
it. No, if you keep it, it'll come back. But I'm like, we're really into this look. And I've had a lot of that. What was it? My favorite designer that I said, Fear of God. A lot of that is back. The baggy, the big, the carefree.
We're seeing that in furniture too, where what was old is now new again. I remember when I changed out my wedding ring, 10th anniversary. They're like, get platinum or white gold. I was like, no, I like yellow gold. The following year, it was everywhere. Wait long enough, it'll just come right back. Keep hold of all the things that fit you well. I have some clothing from college and high school because they were well tailored made. They still fit.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of my good
Mainly
clothes.
earrings.
So I just looked up Fear of God because it's not a brand I'm familiar with. And they literally on their front page, they have all the celebrities.
There you go.
Adrian Brody, they were all in Fear of God.
Who? How did they get so mad at him that he didn't even make it to the carpet?
Go to fearofgod.com.
I saw everybody else. I
It's
saw-
Fear of God. They might as well call it fear of your wallet or your bank account, because a t-shirt, one t-shirt, $250. You want a sweatshirt? You want a sweater? $9.95. Sweatshirt, $18.50. Knitwear top.
They have a sales section. Clearance. Oh wow! Even their baseball caps are $200, but they're made of wool.
I love finding new brands.
Their sunglasses are affordable, only $285.
As if I need another pair of
Accessories.
sunglasses. Accessories.
Their socks are $125, but they're sold out.
Doesn't that like baffle you? Those socks are $125. They're sold out. Fear of God, 1983 sunglasses, $285. That's not bad at all.
Oh, their sneakers are affordable, like $180 to $200.
The Fear of God. These shoes are very Rick Owens.
Jerry Lorenzo is the American fashion designer behind it. He also founded the Essentials line, known for its iconic hoodies,
Yeah, I was seeing a bunch of those.
luxury streetwear, and unique approach fashion.
Nice.
Oh wow!
My
Yeah, that was
browser's
the
gone.
MLB player.
Really?
Yeah, baseball. Oh, okay.
Some of these shoes are sexy. I'm not going to lie. These basketball high tops, $200. I could guarantee you if I go to click on this, they're going to be out of stock. And they allegedly have them in my size. And they're only $200.
If they have them in my size,
If you get lucky, they only
Already-
size 6.5, 9, 10, 10.5. Is that a sign from God? Should I buy these if they're in my size?
beige is cute. Oh wait, what size shoes do you wear?
10.5.
Putty beige.
But
I like how it looks. Remember back in the day, Nikes had the pump it up. That little thing in the back reminds me of the pump it up thing that used to be on the tongue.
those were Reebok pumps.
Oh,
The Reebok pumps.
you're right. I lived on the Upper East Side when I got my first there. It's one of the wardrobe ladies gave me up here on set. I was like, oh, close. All right.
Interesting.
Um,
This has been a wonderful episode of the TDX podcast.
the exchange.
We've covered so many topics.
Yeah, this
But-
is how ADHD works when it's medicated. The topic, the place. I went the whole day yesterday not medicated, and oh my God, it was so hard getting anything done. I'm surprised I was able to watch the Met Gala fully. So many naps yesterday.
Oh God, that sounds amazing. I'm Danny Russo with Camille Cower, and we are wishing you a very happy Met Gala and a wonderful May.